Prairie Playland is a small but enjoyable amusement park near Dallas, Texas. This park is located in Grand Prairie, Texas at the Traders Village Flea Market. It has been around for a few years, but it recently gained notoriety in the coaster community for the addition of Prairie Screamer. So is it worth a pit stop if you're in the area? Find out in this review of Prairie Playland. Traders Village opened back in 1973. This is a 160-acre flea market comprised of 3,000 different shops, making it the largest outdoor market in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. This place was so successful that it spawned 2 additional locations. One opened in Houston in 1989, and another opened in San Antonio 10 years ago. All 3 locations also feature a collection of amusement rides. The flat rides are fairly similar location to location, but the original one in Grand Prairie is the only one to feature a roller coaster. It only happened recently, and it is an impressive coaster too. When Scandia, Ontario closed its doors in 2019, coaster enthusiasts hoped that someone would rescue the Screamer. This was the largest coaster ever built by Myler, and it was a very underrated ride chock full of wild airtime. And it had a list price of roughly $1 million, which was far cheaper than a new ride of comparable size. It seemed like a steal. Fortunately, a buyer was announced in early 2021. Traders Village will be saving the coaster and reopening it as Prairie Screamer. This coaster reopened in late 2022, and the amusement area was rebranded as Prairie Playland. This ride matched the park perfectly. It has always been one of the sketchiest looking large-scale coasters between its size and pencil-thin supports. The whole place feels like a carnival. The rides themselves do look good and are colorful, but most of them are portable and you have absolutely no theming. Then the park sits on bare and even some cracked asphalt. That also means there is zero shade here, so you will bake on a hot day if you don't have sunscreen. Normally, I would knock a park for this appearance, but hear me out, it actually works in this case. Remember, this place is a flea market at its heart and soul. It is surrounded by shops on all sides. You cannot access the park without walking through them, so the ragtag appearance fits the location well. And while this park may not have the visual charm of a lot of other parks, the employees are awesome. They are super friendly and sociable. They went out of their way to have conversations with guests during and in between restraint checks. They really improved everyone's days. Now if you want to visit this park, definitely double check their hours. Prairie Playland is open year-round, but it's weekends only for a large chunk of the year. The flea market is only open on weekends. This is the biggest draw for the complex by far. Per the employees, Sunday is typically Prairie Playland's busiest day. While you may not get hour-long waits like a Six Flags park, you may have to wait a few trains for Prairie Screamer. But Prairie Playland will open during weekdays during school vacation weeks. And this may be the best time to go if you want to ride a ton. I was able to walk onto every single attraction and just stay on attractions if I so desired. Prairie Playland does not have super long hours. Usually, it's open just from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., but that's more than fine for a park of this size. You need to pay $5 to park, but admission to the grounds is otherwise free. You then have the option to pay per ride or go with an all-day wristband. Individual rides are very affordable. Most cost roughly $3, and then Prairie Screamer is the only one that costs $5 per ride. Makes sense for the signature ride. But I would recommend that wristband. I have a hunch you'll want to ride Prairie Screamer a few times, plus some of the flats, and it costs just $19, making it one of the cheapest amusement parks out there. There are a few different ticket booths across the park where you can purchase these. Now what about that ride lineup? You have just over a dozen rides, but they are quite balanced. You have some high-end thrill rides, a collection of family rides, and a few designated kiddie rides. The single coaster here is the aforementioned Prairie Screamer. I have an entire review for this coaster, but it is a fun and feisty attraction. It's a repetitive series of drops and tight turns. The ride seemingly gets wilder as it goes. Several hills offer very abrupt ejector airtime pops, and the turns, which have minimal banking by the way, dish out some really nice laterals too. Sure, the ride is a bit janky, but it has such a different feel than a lot of other major coasters out there. I really liked the ride. And I hope this ride is a success and encourages the other Traders Village locations to look into getting coasters of their own. It really does round out the park. Moving on to the flat rides, The best of the bunch is easily Fleefall. This is one of those Larson ARM drop towers. You slowly race to the top of the 13-story tall tower, getting a great view of the Traders Village complex and the surrounding area. You can see Six Flags in the distance. Then you drop like a rock with no warning. It is one of the most intense plunges of any drop tower. You get a gut-wrenching sensation in your stomach and float the whole way down. This is par for the course for these Larson ARM drop towers. As for the other flat rides, they all seem to run really strong programs both in terms of speed and duration. For pendulum rides, you have a Larson Super Loop and Village Vortex offering good hang time, and a Chance swinging ship in Pharaoh's Fury that offers some fun airtime. Then for spinning rides, you have a few options with the best being their Chance Wipeout. This one has a nice mix of airtime pops and crushing laterals. Then you have some rides exclusively for kids like a Junior Drop Tower, a little plane ride, and a big playground. Now there are some gaps in this park's lineup, which isn't too surprising for its size. You will not find any water rides or dark rides here. There is a covered area with a stage for musicians to perform. There was a DJ playing the day I visited, but outside that, don't expect any other live entertainment. If you're looking for food, the park has a few stands, and then the overall complex is a food court nearby. So do I recommend visiting Prairie Playland? Yes, I do. The park is small, no denying that, but it has some fun rides and a super nice staff. Prairie Screamer is a really unique and deceptively thrilling roller coaster that alone makes this place worth a visit. I'll be sure to stop in anytime I find myself in Dallas, especially considering how affordable it is. If you're interested in the flea market as well, I think this place becomes a full-day affair considering the number of vendors there. If you're visiting exclusively for the rides, you won't need more than an hour or two, if you visit on a quiet day. I did spend much more time than that marathoning Prairie Screamer and Fleefall just because I like those two rides so much. This place is extremely easy to pair with one of the other nearby parks. You have the fairly new Epic Waters Indoor Water Park on the other side of town, and more notably, you have Six Flags Over Texas just a 10-minute drive away. And honestly, Prairie Screamer is better than a lot of coasters at that park. Do not sleep on this ride, and try to squeeze it into a coaster trip if you're in Dallas. So those are my thoughts on the Prairie Playland amusement park at Traders Village in Grand Prairie, Texas. What are your thoughts on this park? Have you been there? Let me know how it compares to their other locations if you've visited those as well. If you enjoyed this review, I would appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you consider subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.